Yo, what is up guys, it's Zay here from the ZayBytes YouTube channel. So in today's video, we're going to be trying out the Gnome desktop because on my KDE Plasma video, a lot of you have been asking me to try out Gnome, and especially this guy's comment, and that really just shocked me, and I was thinking like, how good can Gnome possibly be? And before we start the video though, thank you guys so much for 6,000 subscribers. It's been amazing. You guys have been amazing, all of you. Also, real quick, I just want to make a quick announcement. I now have channel members. We have two tiers, which is the first tier is ZayByte. It is about $1, and Gigabyte, which is like this much. I think it's like 500 bucks. So if you want to get absolutely scammed by me, you can absolutely join my channel members. Anyways, let's go ahead and try out the Gnome desktop. So actually before this, I've used Gnome once. It was Zorin OS, but I tried Zorin OS for literally 2 hours and I uninstalled it because I was distro hopping like crazy back in the day. Alright, so we're at the Gnome website, and what I noticed was this. It is a Hornet from Hollow Knight series. Gnome looks a lot like Mac OS, an independent computing platform for everyone, a more elegant way to use your computer. Hit the super key anytime to get an overview, switch or launch apps, and search for anything on your computer. It's magic. So from what I've heard, Gnome is actually a little bit heavy, but as heavy as Gnome gets, it's not as heavy as Windows. Okay, yeah, this looks pretty good in my opinion, even though I'm not the biggest fan of modern layouts like this. But yeah, this looks pretty good, actually. Supporting organizations. There's actually quite a bit of big tech companies that supports Gnome. Overall, I think Gnome looks pretty modern. But anyways, we're going to be trying it out and giving Gnome a chance. So to install Gnome, we're going to go to our terminal and type in this. I'm going to do sudo dnf because I'm using Fedora. I actually just updated to the Fedora 44 version. I think I'm a bit late for that. There is 309 packages. This is actually a lot of packages, as you can see. The thing I want to see is like the RAM usage and the CPU usage, because on idle, the RAM usage on Fedora is about 2 gigabytes. Okay, the install actually took less than 5 minutes, as you can see. That was very quick. Let's just go ahead and log out and log into Gnome. So my session right now is Plasma. Let's go ahead and switch to Gnome. Ooh, alright, I actually kind of like the top bar. If I press the super key, this appears, which is the overview, and we have the dock down here. Does the dock also appear if I drag my mouse down to the screen? Oh, it doesn't. So do I have to press the super key in order to see the apps that I have open every time, or is there a setting for that? So when you first open Gnome, you have this tour, and let's just go ahead and begin. Get an overview. The overview shows all your apps in Windows. Press the super key or the Windows button. For me, I'm using a MacBook, so it's the command key. And yeah, I already showcased this in literally right at the beginning. To search, just start typing in the overview. Alright, let's search store. So Gnome has their own software store, which is this. We're gonna get into that later. But yeah, the search works just fine. It actually kind of reminds me of like macOS search back when I was using macOS. Stay organized with workspaces. Organize your windows by moving them into a different workspace, done by dragging them in the overview. Like that? Oh, okay. So I think if I want to switch to workspace, I just click this and go here, or is there like a shortcut for that? Oh, I can also swipe up and down to open the overview. That's pretty cool. Okay, I actually really like the feature where you can switch the workspaces with your touchpad gestures. That's it. Get more advice and tips, see the help app. Okay, so my first thoughts on Gnome desktop. It's very polished. It looks very clean, to be honest. I think it's just a wallpaper. If I switch to wallpaper, it would look better. I think if I just right click, oh yeah, here it is, change background. The file manager looks a lot like macOS's file manager. I actually found this wallpaper and I think it looks pretty good. They also have pre-installed wallpapers, which of course I'm not a huge fan of. Oh, okay, Gnome only uses 400 megabytes more than KDE Plasma. I thought it would be in the 3 gigabyte range, but turns out I'm wrong. It's only 2.4 gigabytes. So Gnome has quite a few apps pre-installed. I'm not a huge fan of that. They have like a calendar app, which I probably won't use because I just use my phone. But if you use the calendar app, this calendar app actually looks very polished and very modern if you're into that. So the App Store here looks like a combination of Microsoft Store and App Store. It looks pretty good actually. I think I'm getting more used to the modern look and feel of Gnome, because usually I like what I do on customizations, I disable the rounded corners, but this has rounded corners and you know, it's not that bad actually. They even have a calculator app, which you can access through here, and the calculator looks very polished. Well, the features are, well, it's just basically a calculator. They have a text editor, which I'm probably not going to use because, well, I use logsec or Neovim. Oh, and they also have this, which is the show apps, like macOS's, when you press F4 and it launches the app launcher. Yeah, this looks like that. So they have the utilities here. They have the audio player, connections. What is the connections? Oh, it's remote desktop. Okay. You can also change the fonts easily from this, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, I think this is a font installer. Okay, so now on the system, they have disk usage analyzer, GNOME disks, logs, parental controls if you have a kid, problem reporting, and system monitor. Let's see how the system monitor looks. Okay, this looks good. I like it. Okay. The CPU usage is like 7%. That's because I'm recording. Okay, one thing I don't like is they have a bunch of pre-installed stuff here, like maps. Bro, I swear location doesn't work, but it's literally on where I live. I live in Jakarta. Oh my god, it's doxing me, guys. Okay, this is the GNOME settings app. We have all the basic settings. You can also connect online accounts, just like, I think KDE Plasma, you can do this as well. We have Nextcloud, Google, Microslop 365, and Microslop Exchange. Okay, I like the settings app. This looks pretty good. Multitasking. They also have hot corners. Okay, that's pretty good. But I'm going to disable this though. Dynamic workspaces. I'm pretty sure if I set this to dynamic workspaces, it adjusts to how many stuff I have. Like, let's say I only have like 2 windows, and the 2 windows are open in only 2 workspaces. If I have it on dynamic workspaces, only 2 workspaces will be open. But if I have the fixed number of workspaces, let's say I have this on 4, as you can see on the top right here, 4 is open. Okay, now if you have multi-monitors, you can adjust the monitor and the primary display right here. I think I already went through this on the beginning when I changed the wallpaper, but you can also change the accent color. Okay, so on the top, we have the icon for the recording, which is OBS, microphone icon, Wi-Fi icon, sound icon. What is this? Oh, whoa, this looks really cool, but the corners are a bit too rounded for my taste. Ooh, they have this cool little pop-up when you... And they also have it for the brightness. And I'm pretty sure for the sound, right? Oh yeah, there we go. And if I mute, yeah, see, it changes. GNOME also has their own video player, and I'm pretty sure it's called just video player. But the video player looks pretty good in my opinion. And the top is also transparent, bro. I like that. They also have a weather app if you're into that. Alright, now so if you're using GNOME and you want to install extensions and you want to customize GNOME even further, you can do, this is going to be your package manager. I use DNF. Install GNOME-tweaks and GNOME-extensions-app. Let's just go ahead and click enter. Okay, so we're going to be installing 2 packages for less than 2 megabytes, both of them. Dude, that was very quick. What the hell? It's already completed. Okay, so now if I type search and I search extensions, we have this. We also have the GNOME tweaks right here. And you can further personalize the appearance, like the cursor, the icons, legacy application icons, the sounds if you want to, the touchpad and mousepad. They also have middle click page, keyboard right here, Emacs input if you've used Emacs in the past and you like it. And you can also customize the startup applications, which I have none. Alright, so now we're going to see how customizable GNOME is. So I'm pretty sure if you want to customize GNOME, you have to install this thing called an extension manager. You can install it using Flatpak, but I don't know the install command. Okay, this is the install command. Let's just go ahead and copy this. Let's go back to my terminal and paste it there. Okay, that was pretty quick. So far, GNOME multitasking isn't bad. It's not even laggy or heavy. All right, here we have the extensions manager. Now we can go ahead and browse the extensions. Ooh, I'm gonna install the lock screen extension because I can customize GNOME's lock screen from the lock screen itself. This extension does not support your GNOME shell version. It may cause errors if installed. Okay. Ooh, user themes. Okay, let's install this. Download and install user themes from extensions.gnome.org install. Wait, so how do I install user themes to GNOME? How to install user themes on GNOME. Installing themes in GNOME. Before you go on downloading the themes, you should make sure of a few things as prerequisites. There are 2 places the themes files can be placed, in .themes or user share themes. Don't have .themes yet, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do mkdir. I'm going to do mkdir.themes like this instructs me to. Okay, so I discovered this website called gnome-look.org, and it's a list of GNOME themes. It's actually like a theme store. If we want to install GNOME themes, it's down here in the GTK3/4 themes. They actually have a bunch of themes here. Okay, before we install the themes though, I need to check my GNOME version. We can do that by doing this. gnome-shell-version. I'm using the new Gnome 50. I want to install this theme, but as you can see, it doesn't support Gnome 50, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so I found a theme that I kind of like. So on here, it's not as rounded. I think I'm going to download this theme. Yeah, and I like the dock as well. Does this dock come with the theme, or do I need to install a separate dock? Alright, how do I download this? Oh, it's literally right here. What the hell? So we have the reversal light, reversal dark, and reversal tar.exe. So I'm going to do reversal dark. Let's just go ahead and copy this. Cut it, .themes, and just paste it here. I think I changed it through the extension manager and then user themes, right? Ah, here it is. Yes, reversal dark. Okay, just change it to reversal dark, but I don't see a dock. I did a bit of browsing and I found this extension called -2dock, which I'm pretty sure I can install it from the extension manager. Oh, here it is. A dock for Gnome Shell. This extension moves the dash out of the overview, transforming it to a dock. Download and install -2dock. Install it. Oh, dude, now I have the dock right here without having to press the overview. Okay, that's pretty cool. So over here we have the pinned apps, and over here we have the apps that are open. On the extension manager, you can also adjust the -2dock settings, as you can see. I have intelligent auto hide enabled, so if the window is going down here, as you can see, it hides the dock. Dude, I just noticed they have this like automatic brightness. I literally looked away to the screen and my screen got brighter for some reason. I think if I search brightness, how do I adjust the brightness? Oh, here, automatic screen brightness. I think I'm gonna disable this because it kind of gets annoying sometimes. So what are my thoughts on Gnome? In my opinion, it's very good. Now do keep in mind, Linux is freedom, so you can basically use anything that you want. And you shouldn't really care about what other people think, just use what you think is right for you. Now Gnome is great, KDE Plasma is also great, it just comes down to your needs. If you want something that's customizable, simple, and really lightweight, go for KDE Plasma. If you want something that's modern, but uses a little bit more RAM, go for Gnome. Oh, and if you're worried about gaming, it's literally no problem. I only saw like a 2 to 5 FPS. If you're not using the FPS counter on, you probably wouldn't notice it.